Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Welcome to True Dungeon Talk with Trent. My name is Trent of trenttokens.com. A really big game. I'm a really big game. Hi, everybody. I'm a really big game. I'm a really big fan of the game called True Dungeon and a very avid collector of tokens. For anybody who did not know that yet, you can see those back here. Pretty much have them all except for 15 from 2003. So if you happen to have some 2003 Woodies, please let me know. I'm missing one uncommon and 14 rare. So yeah, hit me up, you fellow really old-timer Woody collectors. Today's a very special show. We're going to be interviewing Caitlin and John from True Dungeon. It's going to be a riddle reveal of Order of the Dawn, the latest VTD. And again, we're going to be doing that 1 week after every show, after every adventure. And that's what this one is. Last week was the adventure, and this week is the riddle reveal. But before we welcome them to the show, let me do a little housekeeping. First of all, if you haven't done that clicking and liking and subscribing algorithmic thing, please do that. That helps me spread the love of True Dungeon, and it's really great for the show. Also, if you're new here, check out that link, the pinned link. This is only if you're watching live. If you're watching this later than live, thank you for watching, but unfortunately you won't be able to participate in this. If you are watching live and sign up on the forum, click the link there at the top of the chat channel. That will allow you to enter your name and email. Fret not, I don't do anything with that email except contact you when you win, and that's it. But speaking of that, you must be here in order to win. You have to fill out the form, and when I do the drawing and I say, hey, Bob Jones, you won. Bob Jones, you need to say, hi, I'm here in chat. And that's how you win. I'll remind everybody again, but again, please say hello by clicking that link and entertaining the chance to win first, second, or third place gold or treasure chips, which is really fun. Speaking of entertaining and winning, let's go to our winning chat people here who will be joining us. Everybody, please say hello to Caitlin and John. Hello, everybody. Oh, wow, look at there. Everybody loves you. Let me say hello and welcome everyone to the show while everybody else is clapping. I'm going to type. There we go. Okay. All right. Hello, Caitlin and John. How you guys doing?
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
I'm always good.
Always good? All right, we got one always good and one not too bad. All right, so let me say hello to people in the chat. Hello, Valerian89, the Garrett Bay, Mandor, Belinda. What up, Belinda? Mr. Dementa, Tom Van66, Jordan. What up, Jordan? Michael Deanin. By the way, Michael, every time I read that name, I think I'm reading the Klingon actor's name. So I think of the Klingon actor from Star Trek Next Generation every time I read your name. I just want you to know that.
That would be Michael Dorn.
Yeah, exactly. When I read Michael Deanin, in my head, I hear Michael Dorn, and then I think of the actor, and then I think of Star Trek Next Generation. I'm like, oh, I really like that show. So that's what happens every time I read that name. Basic Braining, what's up, Awkward Moon, Ian. And all right, so hello everybody. If you have any questions for our lovely guest here about True Dungeon VTD, this particular VTD that we just did, any rooms, etc., we're about to talk about each room, so maybe save your questions about each room until we get there. Please, in chat, just type the word question and then whatever your question is, so I don't miss it as it flies by. Speaking of flying by, why don't we dive right in? Because boy, oh boy, is there a lot. Okay, so Valerian is upset with me because I immediately defaulted to TNG instead of DS9. Yes, I apologize. I watched TNG more than DS9. I forget why, but it was probably because of work or something. So blame.
Listen, they're both great shows for different moods.
Absolutely. I think they're both great. Absolutely. And I was about to say Conan O'Brien was on both, but I don't think that's right. So you could see I'm really a half of a fan because I can only get half of the names right. So Conan O'Brien, he was on both shows, right? He was really great on everyone. Valerian has a question. Did we ever figure out the issues with ones? Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, let's dive right in. To the Order of the Dawn riddle reveal. What did we figure out about the ones?
We haven't yet. We still have not been able to recreate the issue in testing, and it is extremely frustrating.
Now, as a computer nerd, because this is what I do in my real life, when you say testing, because I'm persnickety this way, did you have 8 to 10 people from 8 to 10 different places sign in 8 to 10 different ways, some on the app, some on the website, and then all the different classes? Because that would be a comparative test.
We're only seeing the issue with ones on the website, to my knowledge. Every
Okay.
build that was submitted for excessive ones came from TD Character Creator. Every build that we got was then sent to the developer. And the TDCC developer then took those builds and kind of did like a clone thing where he had the exact same build as that character and went in and test rolled in every single room. And that's been with every build that I was sent.
We could talk more offline. That's unless if I heard you correctly, this is the way all of my fellow computer nerds in the computer nerd industry probably hear this lingo. If I'm hearing you correctly, that sounds like nowhere near the same thing from a testing point of view. But that is the kind of stuff that.
For the record, I'm probably poorly explaining it.
Well, we'll go with that.
I'm not a coder.
Yeah, because I could. Not to belabor this, but I could also just go in, sign in, and hit run a bunch with the same exact build. But it's not a fair test. But again, well, let's just blame you. You're not explaining it well. Why are you explaining it so poorly, Kaylin? God, come on, man.
I can't help it.
Basic Brandon says this adventure was packed. I agree. Miles O'Brien was on both. I'm pretty sure it was Conan O'Brien, but whatever. Christopher Austin, what's up? Kuzik, hello. Basic Brandon says, thanks to everyone who submitted bills to try to figure out the Nat 1 curse. I got a bunch of those myself. Valerian says, have been having issues with weapon spec on the human fighter on TDCC. Well, send in a report to those cats.
If I recall correctly, I did get a human fighter build, and it was an issue with a weapon mastery, some kind of thing.
He says
I've
weapon
been playing
spec.
Assassin's Creed all day. So.
Yeah. Oh man, are we interrupting from that? I apologize. Yeah, sounds like it was him. And I agree, Valerian 89. I was about to say he, but I'm not sure. My apologies. They said didn't detract for the fun for the runs. I agree. And Steve Harris, hello. And John, Salsa John says the adventure was certainly action-packed, best yet. That's hard to do. Every time he becomes the best yet. Where's the limit here, baby? Kuzik says, from what I'm hearing, is to swap the app until TDCC can get their blank together. I probably should have read that. So it's a kid's show. I get enough ones and any run didn't notice. Steve, I'm with you there, baby. All right, so let's dive right in because there is a bunch to do. Let's, for the people who maybe missed Order of the Dawn or would like to see the intro again, here is the intro to Order of the Dawn. Take it away, Caitlin.
On your previous adventure, a young woman named Sabella led you from the strange tower where you rescued her through the mist-shrouded woods surrounding Cravenmoor. You faced many mist-corrupted creatures, and even managed to earn a cure to the befuddling mental effects of the mist from a hag. The hag's magic cured Sabella's amnesia, and she remembered that she is a knight of the Order of the Dawn, who left Cravenmoor in search of help against a terrible foe. Finally, you emerged at the village of Mistmourn. Sabella took you to meet Mother Danusia, a lawkeeper she insisted could explain the finer details of the curse on Cravenmoor. The lady wasn't home, but her nephew graciously explained the tragic tale of Willem Valmore and his doomed love for the Runelander druid Astrid. Now known as Count Craven, Willem lives on with only the Order of the Dawn working to stop his reign of terror. At Sabella's insistence, you set out for Lightbreak Keep, a fortress high in the mountains on the eastern border of Cravenmoor. The keep is the Order's headquarters. There you will be able to take the trials to join the Order and help them to defeat Craven once and for all. With Sabella's help, you've successfully traveled to the eastern border of Craven Moor. The journey was long, and night has fallen. You can just barely see the towers of Lightbreak Keep looming on a cliff high above you. Just as you're about to begin climbing up the mountain to the keep, hoofbeats thunder down the road behind you.
Scary.
It's one of Craven's heralds. Quickly, we must put down or he'll alert his master to our location. We cannot let Craven learn where the order resides.
Okay, so when I first saw that, I completely lost that line where it says where the order resides. Only on like a second or third time through did I read that. I was like, oh yeah, that's important. Oh man, that was a scary little intro there. Let me in chat. Someone agrees with me here. I love the story. Chris says the lore tie into the adventure felt natural and not forced or a second thought. Loved it. And Salsa John says happy birthday week, John.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
And Buck Aiden says Sage was a welcome surprise at room 7. Loved working banter with him as a DM. And that Fedora guy says hello. And John also thinks Sage was awesome. So yeah, that was a cool surprise. Now this guy is our first monster. What can you tell us about this scary monster here?
So this is another monster that we've purchased from Atmos FX, so the same one that had the Scarecrow last time. And that's why the visuals look so incredible, because Drake was able to take that and then just make these gorgeous videos of the attacks and things that this monster does. Now, this guy, because he's sitting higher up on the horse, it makes him a better target for ranged damage, so he actually takes additional damage from ranged attacks, which you can see there in the side window. In the Bard lore.
Yeah, speaking of his attacks, do you want to show us one or two of his attacks?
Sure.
Cool.
So, let's see. We'll start off with his Colossal Charge.
Ooh.
Where he comes quickly riding from the darkness.
Very cool.
A lot of fun. And then for those of you who didn't get to play on Epic and Mythic, he also has this nice little phase 2. It takes a couple of seconds, but he's going to ride out of frame and come back without the horse.
Ooh. That's cool. 2 axes. You know you're cool if you have 2 axes.
Well, yeah. Otherwise, what else are you going to do with that other hand?
I know, right? So yeah, speaking of Mythic, here was the Mythic Affix. I guess that's probably the right way to say that. Please, chat, correct me. I'm thinking Mythic Affix. I don't think it would be a fix, right? But anyway, lay it on us, you English majors out there. So yeah, I definitely got to see the Mythic version. I think I played Mythic 3 times, maybe more, something like that. Let me check in with chat here. So Basic Braining says the volume on CPN's a little low. Do other people agree? So that means me and
Fix that?
yeah, is that you maybe? Can you turn yourself up?
Yeah. Is that any better?
Yeah, that is better. Maybe go down, if whatever you were, let's pretend like what you were was a 5 and let's pretend this was a 10. Maybe go to like an 8, maybe split the difference. And then
Yep, this is splitting the difference.
okay, I think that sounds pretty good to me. I thought that was actually my ears. So people are saying that's better. Thank you. That's one, I guess, one of 100 bad things when you get old. I thought it was just my hearing. All right, so checking in on chat. John says Drake is doing such an outstanding job on the graphics and sound effects. Great job. I agree. Kuzik, come on. I'm the funny one here. Kuzik says he wants to ask you a question. Come on, Kuzik. Trying to take my job. This is my only job, man. I make 13 cents an hour. Belinda says, live NPCs are great generally, and Sage is great in particular. I also really like the use of purchased digital assets that Drakes then modifies for TD use. I concur. And a couple people are cool with your sound now. And AA Magic 2, 2 axes. Did that make him a ranger? Yeah, is he a ranger now? Valerian says, played epic and phase 2 threw us for a loop when we played on Friday. Kuzik says, you get paid? I do. 13 cents. Boom. Suck it. Yeah, so this was a really cool room. I didn't make the connection that it's Atmos like the Scarecrow, but I can see the Drake influence here, which is awesome. And let's go to the trend or the in between or the intro for room 2. Let's dive right in because there's so much to go over.
As you climb the last bit of ground to Lightbreak Keep, your heart sinks in disappointment. It appears to be nothing more than abandoned ruins. Then you pass through the entry gate and the illusion dissolves. The keep isn't just occupied, it is a hive of activity. Sibella moves quickly as she leads you across the yard to an iron gate leading to the courtyard of one of the outer buildings.
As of this moment, you are all initiates to the Order of the Dawn. Beyond this gate are the trials of joining. Before this order can trust you with our sacred calling, you must prove that you are committed to the task of restoring peace to Cravenmoor. The challenges you will face in the trials will give you tests of both might and mind. As your sponsor, I will accompany you part of the way. However, I'm only an observer. I cannot assist you with your tasks.
You push your way through the gate into a tightly enclosed courtyard. The Hall of Trials looms before you, its stone walls twice as thick as most. The better to keep the evil it houses inside. Once your entire party is inside, Sibella follows you in and closes the gate. The moment the gate latches, 4 gargoyles spring to life.
Your first trial is simple. Get across the courtyard. Fight fiercely.
And then real quick before we go back to all of us and our talkie screen, I'm going to play one attack for each of these gargoyles. So starting from the left, we've got the fire.
Cool.
Shock. Force. And cold.
Nice. Yeah, that's very, very, very cool room. People in chat agree. There was so much. Not being, I've said this before, when you're as handsome as this, you're not very smart. So, not being very smart, but ridiculously handsome and humble. This took me a few tries to kind of understand what was going on. So this is, I think, for the thinkers in the party. So who could explain maybe what was going on here, just in case they were like me and didn't quite fully understand during their one run through?
Right. So the courtyard is divided into 4 quadrants. Just like if you take a piece of paper and fold it in half twice, first hot dog style, then hamburger, and you get your nice 4 even spaces. And each gargoyle is located in one of those 4 quadrants. At the end, I think it was the end. I've slept since then. The end of their turn, they then shift, and they will shift to the next quadrant in the sequence. However, the quadrants are laid out a little differently. So as we're looking here at the 4 gargoyles, you would think it would be left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not. The ones in the back are actually 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 are the ones closer to.
Oh, okay.
And what quadrant the players are in at the on the gargoyle's turn determines their chances of being hit by a massive AoE attack that hits a whole quadrant. So very much luck of the draw. You could avoid the AoE if you happen to not be in the right quadrant when it was selected. But
so you can attack any of them,
Yep.
but you needed to also choose where you were. So there's kind of luck of the draw if you were in the spot. You know, if I chose 2 and it was 2, the people in 2 get attacked, right?
Exactly. So the choosing the quadrant was meant to mostly be sort of like an instant thing. So where are you in this exact moment when the gargoyles attack next? Rather than you have to be in a quadrant to attack gargoyles. That was way too much to track, especially for a room 2. So it was just for the attack.
Right. This mechanic is somewhat similar to the final boss fight in whatever that was. I did the video series, like how to play True Dungeon, and at the very end with the boss fight, you had to, I guess, choose like a spot where you were, and I don't know if it was insta death, but it was pretty brutal.
Was that Dune Viper? There was a roll thing at the end.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it was a roll. Yeah. And then I died, which was actually pretty good for the how to play video, because that's going to happen. So if someone had no idea and they watch the video series and they see people die, they're like, okay, well, there is the chance for death here. And the other cool thing about this was you had to crack each of them and then one more hit before they all died, meaning they could all continue to attack whether they were cracked or not. Is that right? Did I get that right?
Yes. Yeah, so they essentially had a life link.
Very cool. And then there was also the mythic affix, until somebody corrects me, that's how I'm saying it. So that's what the mythic, they were tethered together, and you can see the effect there. And speaking of that,
mythic was they were tethered to the party. So if you tried to maze them, you went with them if you didn't succeed on the save.
Yeah. And we had one of our crazy wizards actually try to maze the other wizard. So that's just them being silly. Our wizards are silly in my group. Let me check in with chat here. Kuzik says that this was his favorite room. That's cool. Basic braining. So must, especially because of the name,
Tom.
must be Tom. Oh, which Tom is that? I've got so many Toms.
That would be Putty the Elf Tom.
Oh, that Tom. Okay, what up, Putty the Elf? So yeah, he's smart. He says everyone go to the one quadrant, always the best strategy. So that's smart. And Bach Aiden says took me a bit to get a handle on the time management. And Valerian likes that the double strike comes into play. So that's cool for the fighter types who have that fight thing going on. And how do you not know the most basic elf ever? You mean not Will Smith. That's not the elf. What's the guy? He's tall. Went to USC, my alma mater, by the way. Isn't his name Will something? You need to watch
more TV, man.
Well, I do, but I got the first name right. Will something. Will
Ferrell.
Yeah, is it Farrell? That doesn't sound right. Anyway, is it Farrell? Okay, well, fine. Now that doesn't make any sense. Okay, yeah. So isn't he the elf? So I remember he went to the same school as I did. So there we go. All right. So this was the mythic affix of. My brain is full of TD knowledge. That's why I don't know anything else. From room 2, any more questions? Looks like a lot of people really like this thing here. I enjoyed this room as well. The next room was actually pretty cool as well. What could you show us about when it comes to going from room 2 to 3?
Sure thing. Okay, so we don't have any nifty in-between
You cross the courtyard littered with debris from your fight with the gargoyles, and pass through the door into the Hall of Trials. Just inside, you find a small antechamber with a large table in its center, and a door barring your way further into the building. A shiver runs the length of your spine as a disembodied voice echoes through the room.
To exit room, the door is locked. You'll find the key kept in this box. Play game with me until you win. Spell command and lid open.
The voice you hear is all that remains of Sir Lycan the Stalwart. He was once a knight in Willem's service and later became a founding member of the Order. Now only his spirit remains, bound to this place by a sense of duty to the realm. He continues to serve the Order in death by presenting initiates with their second task.
Okay, so my first question is, who did that voice?
So that voice is my buddy Ryan Mathis. He was also Grungy Greg and the Grouch this last year. He was the elemental in Tower of Blood. And I think he did something for us for Mist of Madness too, but I can't recall what.
Interesting. Okay, cool. I didn't recognize that. And Tom says that room 3 was hilarious from the DM chair. I bet, because we were probably all over the place. It took me forever to... Well, I never figured it out. My group did. I suck at puzzles. Garrett Bay thought this was a good one. Valerian also loved it. He says it was easy, but also tricky to figure out. Easy? God almighty. I got all the looks and none of the brains. You guys got all the brains. John, is this one of your creations to make me crazy? If so,
Yeah,
how about you take the reins here, baby. Explain this one to us.
Well, the reason this one came about was because Jeff said we can't use Troy as a golem because they're doing Gen Con and Ring Con builds. So this was our first experiment, I guess, with a no golem puzzle, and we just wanted to see if it was doable without a golem. So
interesting.
Yep.
I didn't realize it's the first puzzle without a golem. That's kind of crazy.
Yep. So if you played, I kept watching this room just to see if it was going to work or not. So yeah, I was a little nervous, but I mean we had Drake film the intro and he did all the effects. So I feel sorry for the DMs because they had like 42 different things that they had to click on, but it worked, I think. Hopefully it was kind of fun, but yeah. So this has actually been kind of on the back burner for a while. We were gonna do it at one time. I had Matthew and Troy trying to engineer a way for a golem to press a button and raise like an X or an O through the little screen there, but we just, because they took our golem, or the boss took our golem, so we just went with a pre-recorded version of it.
It was
hopefully you liked it. I don't.
After my team explained it to me, I liked it, but I get frustrated easily. Not being so great with puzzles. So that it was frustrating for me because I was just like, this doesn't make any freaking sense, And then once they explained it to me, I was like, so isn't it really Oakquill ink, and then Hornet grid ox, So because I'm too exact, I'm too literal because I'm a dork. So
the clue, if you read that clue and you didn't say pen, something.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Yeah. I totally get it after I got it.
It was funny to watch on Friday because some people got it like immediately, but the party would talk them out of it. I was like, oh, you guys should listen to this quiet person that's telling you what it is.
Wow.
Like, oh no,
that
we got to
happens
connect.
so often.
So it's fun. I love watching this. Like it's always nervous on Friday to like see the reactions and stuff. But yeah.
I have seen that before, like at Gen Con when I'll run with pugs, and I won't say anything, pretending like I don't know what's going on, but someone who seems kind of quiet will just say the answer, but someone else a little more overbearing and like leading the group just discounts it. I'm like, all right, well, enjoy this damage we're about to receive. Unless they want a hint, then I'll give them a hint. Okay, so lots of chat here. People really like throwing the logic around here. People are sorting tokens. The treasure came. I think mine was delivered too. I'm gonna go. I'll be right back. And Tom says Andrew Knowles saved our butts. Well, that's what he does all the time. And yeah, so everybody seems to be very happy. Someone got a 25K bar in their treasure. Congrats! Oh my God, that's amazing. Oh, this is a good segue. Give me.
I've got hundreds of those.
Speaking of 25K bar, if you would like to win first place of a 25K bar and a treasure chip, second place 5K bar and 3X, third place 1K bar and 10X treasure chips, click the link. It's pinned in the chat. Fill that out. At the end, I'll do the drawing for first, second, third place, but you must be here in order to be eligible to win. And in chat, you must say, hey, that's me. So there's a quick little segue. So now let me get back to where we were. We weren't here yet, but I was about to get to that. So let me get to the answer. John, please explain the answer for people who still might not know what the answer was.
Well,
And how they got there. How you're supposed to get there.
The ghost wants you to open the box. So if you if you could force the ghost into like putting an O, so the first, that's why we rewarded everybody with like a 1 point heal or whatever. So you could play as multiple times, and hopefully you were picking up on the pattern, and it changed every day. So I think the O was on. I don't remember. I'm working on December stuff. So how, Caitlin, do you remember if it was like right underneath it or?
Right.
I've
I
got
think
the module
people.
open. I just need a sec.
I think people get it. You X goes somewhere else, and then O goes into some spot
Yep.
because of where you put it.
So after 1 or 2 games, you should have picked up where the ghost was putting his O's, and sometimes it didn't make sense, but sometimes just because of where you put your X, it looked like he was trying to block you. So it was kind of comical to watch. So
Yeah. He
if you
wasn't
picked up on
playing
the pattern.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I was to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh no. Yeah, if you picked up on the pattern, you should have been able to force him to put O's where you needed them, and all the other stuff didn't. Yeah, I guess didn't really matter unless you were
Right.
in the harder levels. Then you had to win also.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
That.
I mean, there's
Oh, I didn't
there's
play
only
the
2
lower
letters
level.
there.
You didn't have to win in the lower level. I guess I didn't play a lower level.
No, you could lose the tic-tac-toe game and still solve the puzzle on the lower level.
Okay. Cool. So. Nobody doesn't understand now, but just in case you're just like me, ridiculously handsome and not so smart, the clue. I want to just go back here because this is the riddle reveal, and especially for someone who maybe didn't get to play this, the clue. I'm going to actually zoom in here on this. Spell, command, and lid opens. Now I said, oh, well, I want a spell command. So I wasn't playing tic-tac-toe because I just saw you win. You have to win. So we won a game, and then I said, okay, I say this. C-O, blah, blah, blah. So I tried to spell it. That wasn't it. But it turns out you need to, it's spell command, not command. So if there was one more letter in there, it would have made a little more sense to me.
It also would have like made it even more on the nose, and I don't think anybody would have like had it. I don't know that would have been.
Well, clearly people
great
figured it
clue.
out on Friday, and I think it took us to Saturday. I'm not sure if it took us all the way, but anyway, you were attempting to spell open box, big box. So anyway, that was that. It was I was frustrated. I was like, you son of a biscuit, making me think on parts of my brain I don't have. So that was Tic Tac Ghost is the name of that in the module, by the way. So Metaphoric Dragon also said they tried to spell command first thing. Me too, man. Me too.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that, so I was kind of chuckling. I was like, yeah. One more letter would have, I think, gave it away.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you need, let me go to this screen here. You need the red herring, which is right there. That's the red herring, that fish. So, in chat there. So that, can you see that? That's the actual red herring that was part of the meta puzzle. So yeah, the red herrings, you guys are really, really good at the red herrings. I mean, like, really good at the red herrings. So that's what that was, in my mind, a very nice red herring. All right, so let's, anything else to say about this puzzle? Go ahead.
Well, as you, if you've played any video games from the 80s or 90s, anytime you see a pizza or a piece of meat, you're supposed to pick it up. I mean, we had Drake centered on that statue holding a scroll, and some parties would just ignore it or not touch it. So yeah, so that if you see us like focusing on an item, you probably want to, I don't know, interact with it somehow.
That's funny. Yeah, I definitely want to pick up anything. Yeah, sure.
Yep. And I think the original like concept, I was pitching make it a stone to flesh, and then every one of those statues just like beats the living daylights out of you guys. Caitlin took pity on you guys and went in an entirely different direction, because I was
so
like,
nice.
no, like as soon as they throw stone to flesh, kill them. Anyway, so
I'm sure
you
there'll
can
be
thank her
time.
for all the side combats and healing and stuff like that, because I'm not that nice.
I agree.
Yeah,
You are
it was going to be additional combats in every single room.
Oh my god, that would have been nuts.
And this module was already punishing enough. So
Or just big old attacks that you got, and then it goes away. So that's what I wanted on Mythic, was like it just like did an AOE and zapped everybody for 50 points, and
Yeah,
you shouldn't throw stone to flesh on a statue.
yeah, that's wise advice. Speaking of wise advice, let me do a terrible tangent here. If you haven't done that licking, son of a...
What the frickin' frick is wrong with me?
If you haven't done that licking yet, what am I saying? What's wrong with me?
Room 3 puzzle has like saturated your brain. So,
Okay.
sorry.
All right, let's try this again.
If you haven't done that liking and subscribing, please do that now. Oh my God, please lick and subscribe. That should be a new shirt. What? That's a different
this
show.
isn't only Grunnels.
Okay, all right. All right, so please like and subscribe. We've got to, I think we're at 564. We need to get to 575 and then on our way to 600 and beyond. So please like and subscribe. And so let's now go from room 3 to room 4. Show us an intro there, please.
Once past the haunted antechamber, you find yourselves in another room with a central table and a magically sealed door flanked by 2 statues. Before you can begin to inspect the room, Sibella calls for your attention.
This next trial provides you with a choice. You must either prove your knowledge of the 10 saints, or prove you can withstand a test of might and magic. You may do as you will, but choose quickly, lest the saints select a test for you.
Very cool. So when you went into 4, you saw this, and you had to choose between combat and puzzle. But before I get into that, let me just poke with chat here a quick moment. All right, so Sean has got a Mongo Miracle bead. Is that a real thing? Yes, that's a real thing. Hello, Sean. And Pick's channel, which I assume is Pick. Hi, all. I actually made it live for once. Welcome, Pick. We're actually going to be talking about you at the end of the show, toward the end. Steve says, waiting on the TD treasure, but my latest order from Trent Tokens arrived today. Oh, Trent Tokens plug. Yeah, baby. Hope you enjoy the tokens. Let me see. Remember, if you have any questions, just say question in the chat here. Checking. Basic says, don't forget about the scroll. Yeah, you grab the scroll and then some special stuff happened, but in lieu of time, so it won't be a 7.5 hour show, I'm skipping what happens with the scroll. Maybe we'll do, if people go nuts and really want to hear more, maybe I'll do a separate little video about what you do with the scroll, because that's like a whole nother show just with the scroll.
Sorry.
Yeah, and let's see. People really liked the little mini combats and puzzles, which were great. Okay, cool. All right, thank you. Sorry, caught up in chat. Now we're at here. So we're in room 4, and you have the combat or puzzle option. And if you were to choose the combat, you either fought a bitter banshee first or a wraith first. So could you show us the bitter banshee graphic, please?
Sure. Come out. And then she only had one attack that had a triggered visual, and that was her bitter breath.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah. So here is the bitter banshee. You can see the stats. You can see the left-hand scroll here that comes up. Very cool monster. And I think I stole from someone else when I said that the left one looks like the great-great-great-great-grandmother of Princess Leia. And then the right monster looks like, the right statue looks like the great-great-great-great-grandpa of old Ben Kenobi. So, yeah, little Star Wars action there. So Sean says that your video's doing weird things. So is that like right now? Are you saying my live video is having an issue? If so, other people in chat, let me know. Maybe I'll like refocus. Maybe it's a focus issue. Okay, so then here is the Mythic version. If you were playing on Mythic, the Mythic affix there. Sean says I'm seeing a black bar over the cross. I don't see it here. I think that's going to be your end, buddy. All right, so show us the Wraith now, pretty please.
Sure thing. The Wraith actually has a few more triggered videos that go with him.
Cool. Show us Scary Wraith.
So the first one we've got is his energy siphon attack. Sucking away a bit of your soul and life force.
My soul, oh no.
And then his other two might look a little familiar. This was smoke inhalation. And this one is the icy touch of death. And if you happen to play through our Runeheim modules, those two attacks actually used to belong to Gunhild Hellsdaughter.
Cool. I thought it was very cool how that little glowy thing was going into his hands. He's like eating the soul, I guess. So I thought that was a really cool touch. So this is what you saw if you played on, normal through Nightmare, or I guess technically Epic as well. And then if you played Mythic, this was the Mythic affix. So I think people are really digging being able to see like the normal, hardcore, Nightmare, Epic, and Mythic numbers here, the ACs and the spell saves. It's definitely pretty cool. Okay, so Mike says, ow, my soul. Yeah, I'm with you there. Scott, what's up, Scott? All right, cool. All right, so now let's go to the puzzle version. So those were the two combats. So you had to fight both of those scary monsters there. On Friday, if you chose puzzle, this is what you saw. Okay, so I'll let you kind of soak that in there, or hit pause on the video and soak that in. Now, what you had to, actually, maybe you want to show us this, Caitlin. You had to go through, there was a table. On the table, so you saw this, and you had to read the clue and then put these in the right order.
Yep, I don't have the clue pulled up.
Right, but that's the gist. So this is kind of like, if you weren't aware of this, let's say there was some type of issue with the golem, like a camera issue or whatever, right? Some type of emergency, the golem wasn't available. Many of the different things will have like a little emergency backup. So here's an emergency backup in case the golem has issues for this particular room. Now, so again, this was the Friday version, and then this is a bigger version of the scroll that would have been on the left-hand side. So this is the clue. I think a lot of people, especially watching live, probably understand, this is how it works. You read this clue, you take these different names that were on a table and put them in the correct order, and that's how you solve the puzzle. So here's Friday, the clue and the answer. And if you played on Saturday, here's the clue and the answer. John, Could you maybe speak about, and I'll show you the Sunday one next. Could you maybe speak to like where is this coming from, and I assume something to do with the Saints, right?
Yeah, but so with that crazy no Gollum puzzle earlier, like we just we discussed it. We just wanted like a more traditional. This is just a simple logic puzzle that everybody's used to, just in case the other one flopped and wasn't well accepted, I guess. So,
Okay.
we just put a more traditional logic puzzle in there, and because well, if you know the tokens this year, or you know the marks of enlightenment, you know that there's 10 of those, but there's 11 named saints in the token set, but 11 is kind of a hard one to work with, so we did have we had to add a 12th, so we threw Craven in a couple of these.
Saw that. I thought that I didn't want to touch the Craven one myself.
So
That was wise.
yeah. So if you obviously Caitlin softened it a little bit. I said if I wanted them all jumbled in a pile, and whoever touched Craven or had the Golem touch Craven, they were soul stained for the rest of the adventure. But I think she softened it a little bit. I don't remember what we ended up doing with that. But
It's in room 6 actually. The Craven stuff in there gives you some nasty eldritch damage.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Anyway, but yeah. So I mean, not any. It wasn't super fancy or anything, but hopefully people still had fun trying to. Because some people can zip through this and they're just geniuses at like figuring all this kind of stuff out. And some people hate like a bunch of words and sorting stuff. So I mean, we're trying to make everybody happy. So if you liked room 3, you may not have liked this one, but
Got it.
just a traditional puzzle in there and also it gave you, I think if you zip through it pretty quick, you could still have the option of doing a bonus combat. So
we did that. Eventually. Yeah, we did both in a few times, I think.
So yeah,
and here's the Sunday version. Yeah, I play with a bunch of different groups, and then I think it's our Sunday group where some people will join us and they haven't played anything else, and they're like really good with puzzles, and we give them no clues, and they're like, oh, okay, boom, 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 it's done. It's just like, well, that took us 2 days and you 5 minutes. So some people are just really good with puzzles. And then here's the Sunday answer. Yeah, I don't see Craven anywhere in there. I wonder why. Yeah, Craven's not in any of these answers.
Not a saint.
Oh well, it's up to how you view it. But yeah, I would never touch Craven. And speaking of Sean, who's in chat, Sean probably took pity on me. We played the Raven's Loft module, and it was maybe the second time I had ever played D&D, maybe the third. I can't really remember. So I didn't know what the count was. I didn't know the lore. So I can't remember perfectly, but I think I spat at his feet, and of course the count could have just snapped his finger and I would have been turned to dust or something. But he smacked me around a little bit, got my hit points really down, but I'm pretty sure he had every right to just make me disappear and roll another character. But Sean didn't, because I think Sean knew that I'm a horrible unintelligent person and took pity on me. So thank you for not killing me, Sean. So
I think our version of the lore is just that if you're in the Order of the Dawn and you're picking Craven as like, I don't know, you're
in the wrong place.
You don't belong there.
That's true. If it's not, I think it's clear from that one video intro. I thought that was kind of cool that we're going through like the lore here, like that Chris was talking about. It's really great. We're going through these trials to see if we can be accepted into the Order of the Dawn, which I think is a really cool part of the story. So speaking of the story, can we now see what we would have seen between 4 and 5, pretty please?
Yes.
Before we move on to the next trial, I want to warn you of what you're about to face. In the room beyond is one of Craven's nightmare creatures. The Order must be sure that our members can stomach encounters with such monstrosities. Do not let pity for this creature stay your hands. You can do it no kindness greater than a swift death.
And then you proceed to see the monster.
You enter the next trial to find a room shrouded in darkness. Something stirs in the shadows and then shuffles forward into the light. Sabella was right to warn you. You cannot help but feel pity for this hideous amalgamation of what appears to have once been people. Still, you steady both your hands and your resolve to put it out of its misery.
Look at this monstrosity.
Hideous homunculus.
Yeah, let me jump to this screen, and if you could, kill that. For the sake of science, I think we must show this attack. But Falarian89, rightfully so, said volume warning. So, volume warning.
Volume warning, volume warning, volume warning, volume warning.
Turn down your sound or look away if you are sensitive to
We've got some
particular
bright flashy
register.
lights coming.
Yeah, bright sprinkly lights. It's not really lights, but it is kind of bright. But it is
bright light.
Yeah, bright lights. Or you could look directly into the sun. So turn your volume down or look away or hit mute until you see this little go away. But I think for science, we have to show this super weird attack that not everybody loved. So take it away.
The shriek.
Volume warning, volume warning. So that was that freaky attack. I remember when I first heard that, I was like, what the frackety frick frick? But I thought it was cool because it's, part of the, by the way, everyone else, you can put your ears back on if you had your ears off. But I guess people were not super happy about that. You must tell us what happened here.
And honestly, it's fair. We should have put a warning on there, and we'll do so going forward for any sort of painful attacks. I think somebody said don't like fortitude saves in real life, and yeah, you know what? I understand.
That's a funny note. Fortitude save in real life. That's funny.
I will say, though, Drake did such a spectacular job with that, and this is another monster from Atmos FX.
Oh, cool.
It's from their Nightmares collection, I believe.
Speaking of that, is this environment, this cave-like little tunnel, a separate asset, and then this monster is added to it? Do you know for sure?
Correct. Yeah. I'm not sure where the environment came from. Drake may have made it. He may have generated it. I'm not positive. I just know where the monster came from. So he takes this monster, which is just on a plain color background, and he puts it in this and makes all the attacks and everything. It
looks perfectly melded together. So super, super, super kudos to Drake, and I'm sure other people will agree. Mandor says, yeah, that was an ear opener. Sean says that was the encounter that made us think the Order were an evil cult. Like, why? Yeah, right. Some of my group was saying, hey, why are they keeping this thing here? If the best thing to do is to put him out of its misery, why don't you put it out of its misery? And then Gabe says,
they're testing initiates, so they can put it out of their misery and prove that they have the stomach for the work.
Gabe has the answer to every question like that. He says it was just an illusion, right? Question mark. So, right, magic. Magic is the answer. And here's the mythic version if you wanted to play that. The black liquid that rolled down, was that every level, or because I didn't see that every time?
Was on every group.
Is that something you can play?
Happens. I can. This is gonna restart the intro to that room, so
you're gonna just fast forward through, right?
You enter the next trial to find a room.
Get to here.
So I thought this was a pretty cool attack.
it
Yeah.
fills up the space in front of him, and then you either had to choose to take damage from the goo, or you could attempt a reflex save to get past it without taking damage in order to make a melee attack.
Yeah. Super cool effect. It made the room more interactive, made people say, oh, well, maybe I'll just go range. Yeah, I like those little challenges and then the sub challenges, and then you got to think instead of you're not just pushing a button. So it's pretty entertaining and an amazing effect. Do you know if Drake made that, or did that come with that monster?
As far as I know, Drake made that one completely.
Lord have
Because
mercy.
it's actually cut into a triangle shape, so it fits right in front of it, and it has a transparent background on it. So that's actually
nuts.
in front of the monster, but it looks like it's coming out from behind him.
That's crazy. Wow, Drake is killing it. Awesome. So, okay, so Chris Austin says Drake needs a raise. I was thinking that, but I didn't want to say that because then Jeff might be mad at me. So,
Got to talk to Jeff and Lori about that. John and I don't touch the money.
yeah. Okay, so Chris, you got to talk to Jeff directly. And Valerian, I agree, especially some of my group members, they agree. He says, yeah, the order does seem kind of suspicious after this module. So yeah, something does seem a little funky. Speaking of funky, let's see what's funkiness is happening between 5 and 6. What can you show us here?
Alrighty.
This is where we part ways. Initiates must face these last 2 trials alone.
The Master of the Order waits in the final room to test your mettle in combat. But before you reach him, there is another trial to pass. In the next chamber, you will find 4 doors in one. 4 portals magically combined into a single physical door. Before you begin, you will have to choose one of 4 ways to open it. The first method is to follow the path made by the blessed items the saints exchanged. The second requires that you first determine the 8 saints who require a tithe and then pay those tithes appropriately. Both the third and fourth method require you to find a 4-digit combination that unlocks the magical seal. One code may be found through an investigation of portraits. The other is revealed only after you are tested to see if you are approaching enlightenment.
I wish you the best of luck in these last 2 trials. When you succeed, we will feast together in the Great Hall of the Keep to celebrate. I will wait for you there. If you find yourselves in need of guidance, pray to Saint Raya.
Sibella holds the door open as you proceed into the
Let me
next
go
room
back, sorry.
and quietly closes it behind you. The room features a long table and a heavy wooden door that hums with the presence of magical enchantments. Which method will you choose to attempt to open the door?
Yeah.
Now, Trent.
Okay. Yeah, that was a lot. I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, what, who are like NASA scientists taking this puzzle here? It's just my aversion to puzzles. My brain just doesn't work that way. Thankfully, I run with smart people. So it took me a while to understand that. I knew there were different choices, but I don't know if it took me a while to figure out there were actually 4 choices, because I think the last 2 sounded like the same choice to me. So there were 4 choices. This was the scroll you would see if you chose option 1. So let me show you now the answer to option 1. And John, could you do your explanation of this quite complex puzzle with multiple choices and then multiple answers?
So, option 4 was like the first one that we came up with. So
Okay.
basically, if you were using your mind's eye, you could see that you were making a number.
That's
So,
3. 4 is the portraits.
Whatever. So well,
So
enlightenment
one
should've-
other option was the first option. Got it. And it was you were
Yeah,
making
so-
a number. Okay.
So you were making a 4-digit code by moving these things around. So then I just added the rest of the numbers in there to like make it a kind of time consuming. on purpose, because if you chose it was supposed to be that's the easiest one because you're just moving stuff around, and it was like, why are we doing this? But if you chose the easy one, you ate up all of your time and you weren't really healing right before room 7 combat. So that's kind of those two kind of go hand in hand. And then the other ones, the portraits, that code is the same as the enlightenment code, just to make it easy on the DM, so they didn't have to like, yeah. So, but anyway, so yeah, this first easy puzzle was just kind of monotonous and time consuming, and it was just there for it was. I don't think we did a good job of explaining that that's the easiest one, and you can choose the easy number one is the easy one, but yeah, it was, I don't know if that makes any sense.
Got it. Yeah, I'm fairly certain my group did each option, but I tend to zone out on certain puzzles because just my brain doesn't work that way. So here was the option 2 scroll.
So this one was an add-on, I think. So I sent Caitlin, I think, like the original write-ups or whatever, and then I think I added this one. So
You
what had
sent
happened?
me 1, 2, and 3, and then you added the portraits.
Okay. Yep. But so when this one didn't exist at first. So the prop that's back there with all the names and stuff on it.
Oh yeah, speaking of that,
So,
let me go to your solo shot. So yeah, I did want to talk about this room you're in here. So
yep.
So
Well,
this
that-
was
yeah,
for
this-
that puzzle, right?
Yep. So I had just had Troy put the vinyl and all the names and stuff on it, and it was sitting up front, and my kids were in here playing video games and everything, and they like to explore and go through props and everything, and my daughter was stacking coins on one of the names, and I was like, oh, what if they tithe the saints? So that turned into, we had to pop a name off and put it somewhere else so that we could like actually spell open lock. And anyway, so that version of, or that portion of that room is because of my daughter. So
wow.
Yeah.
And this is what you're talking about here, stacking the coins, and by doing so you come up with open lock.
yep, the players were given a bowl of 30 silver coins, and they had to figure out which saint to give them to. I'm like, I'm in December, so hold on here. Yep. So what we did was we just I had Troy just make some hash marks above a letter in their name, and that you would look at that letter and know that like Saint Sola has 2 slashes, so you would give her 2 of the silver coins. Obviously nobody in the middle. So right now Craven's got all 30. I don't know why.
Uh-oh. That can't be
Speaking of,
good.
That is what can trigger the big damage in this room. If
Yeah, so
you
don't
tried
give-
to tithe to Craven.
Ooh.
The DM would warn you first. Don't do that. Are you really sure you want to? And then if you insisted, you took a big old chunk of Eldritch damage.
Ooh, nice. That's great. So yeah, so this was the answer to option 2, and then here we have option 3.
So this one mimicked the first one. They were identical, but the first 4 items that you moved basically made 4 digits. So
And this
And then-
this is the answer to option 3, which is quite fun that it's different on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And if you only play one day a weekend, then you get the experience. But if you play more than one, I think it's kind of cool that there's different answers. And then option 4.
that was the portraits had these little dates on them, different like who was in charge of the order at certain times, and you would just do the math, and that number also matched the 4-digit code, and you would hang those guys up on that door back there, and off you went to go see Sage. And
Right. And then here was the answer for option 4 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you're not going to notice this, but I'm now clicking on the answer for option 3. And now I'm clicking on the answer for option 4. So I just went to, they were the same. So option 3 and 4, the answers were the same for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I saw the module after the fact. I don't get to see that until I'm preparing the show. And it said to keep it simple. I'm a big fan of the keep it simple method. So that's cool. All right, so
something had to be simple in this room because none of the rest of it was for the GMs.
Yeah, this was definitely, yeah, there was a lot going on here. So let me just quick check in. So Valerian ran 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday. That's awesome. Great for replayability. I agree. Salsa John says first time through it was hard to keep the 4 choices straight and evaluate. Yeah. I'm with you there. Valerian option 1 took a while to complete. Our DM on Saturday begged not to do option 1. Not sure if you want to say that. Okay, I didn't say that.
Which DM did you have again?
What DM was that again? What day and time? Pick says, weird that Craven would have all the coins. Probably vampires. You're probably right there. So let's see our final test. Remember, the group was trying to survive the trials to enter the Order of the Dawn. Let's check that out, Caitlin.
You open the door and steel yourselves for the combat to come. The Master of the Order of the Dawn is waiting behind a large altar for the 10 saints. They turn to you with a ready smile.
Now, Sage had a bit of a speech here. I'm not going to be able to do as much justice to it as it deserves because they are a much better actor than me. But they would say something to the effect of, welcome to the final trial. I am Sir Pavel Andros, Master of the Order of the Dawn. So, you are the initiates Sabella has chosen to present. She has never elected to sponsor initiates before. She must hold you in very high regard. She is, after all, the knight chosen to be master when my service to the order has ended. Enough speeches. Show me you're ready to stand before Craven's armies of the accursed. I'll even let you attempt the first blow.
Nice. So, did I hear you right? Sabella is going to take over this person's job, I guess, when they're not doing this job anymore?
Yeah.
Wow,
Which
interesting.
Makes it real bad with what happens, huh?
Yeah, not to spoil it yet, but yeah, something does happen. So here's what you would see. Sir Pavel Saintly is who is the name of this NPC, right?
Sir Pavel Andros. Oh,
Sir
no,
Pavel...
that is the wrong combat stats. I didn't even know.
Oh, okay.
It says
I was
the
just...
unholy homunculus on it.
Okay. So that's... oh, yeah, that's interesting. Let's see what Mythic does. Oh, no, that does say unholy. See, look at there. We'll do it live. So anyway, this definitely was a tough fight. I thought it was very cool how they did the sword and board and then went around and did the spear, just being able to hit everybody was really cool. And then there was that saintly light, which was awesome. And there was a way to figure out how to dispel that. Super, super cool fight. So I think, just like the 20,000 foot view. What else can you tell us about this fight? Because it was really fun for me.
So this was an intentionally very difficult fight, and we had a much lower success rate this dungeon than usual. But this is a scenario where it doesn't really matter if you lose, because your goal isn't to kill him, it's to prove that you are willing to do what's necessary in the fight against Craven. So Sir Pavel is extremely tough. The rotating combat styles, which happens every 2 rounds, between using sword and shield versus using the spear, you can thank a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms for that, because I designed the combat after watching all of it, and I was like, a knight and their squire would be kind of cool. How can we kind of mimic that? And it's the squire handing them their weapons as they change for melee versus joust.
That's cool. Very cool. Yeah, no, that was a very nice touch. I think people liked it as well.
Did you say Metaphoric Dragon was in that chat earlier?
Yep, Metaphoric Dragon says, look at how tempting that spear is on the altar.
Metaphoric Dragon learned the hard way what happened if you messed with that altar, because it was suggested by our DMs in our playtest. What do we do if the players try to jump up on the altar in order to get closer when Sir Pavel is using the spear? Because when Sir Pavel's using the spear, you can only have 2 people attacking in melee on either side of him.
Right.
The answer to that became, okay, well, if they get up on the altar, they have greatly offended the saints and they're dead immediately.
Perfect.
Which is also what happened if you tried to take the weapon of the Master of the Order. The saints are not fans.
Not good. Yeah, no, that I like that. It's a room 7 and you got to pass the test. So I mean, yeah, I get it. Jeff Green says, I like the bard lore in this room, very helpful. I agree. Metaphoric Draven says, was I the only one to grab the spear? Probably.
Yes.
Basic Brandon says, Sage was so good. I agree. Chris Austin says, yeah, lesson learned. Don't use the powerful fireball. And Jason Effort says, nothing better than a bitten NPC taking over the Order of the Dawn. Nothing bad can happen, right? Belinda says, I'm sure it's fine. Shifty Ama says the kids wanted to jump on there too. Gabe says win or die trying, but play by the rules. That Fedora guy says ran with 3 people and it was a great fight. Ooh, that is tough. That's a tough fight. I thought that was a nice touch where only 2 could go. Most of the time I was one of 2, but sometimes there were a bunch, and certain fights, you know, maybe my hit's too low, so I'll just stand back and let people who are hitting better than me go up. And that Fedora guy says,
was hard to hit too. That
yeah,
AC
exactly. Sometimes with because I was doing mythic, and I still need to tweak my build. Sometimes my hit's not so great, so that's why it's great to have casters who can hit better than me. That Fedora guy says wanted to cast Immune to Fire to see what would happen to him, and Valerian says, got to be interesting to be the only one to try a thing and it ends up in certain death. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. All right. So speaking of interesting, guess what happens at the end of this month? So at the recording of this video, this is a live show. It is April 4th. And on April 25th, let's see, 1, 2, 3 weeks from today, is Scarlet Moon Masquerade. Saturday, April 25th. It's a patron-exclusive event. Go to td.events. If you have a patron code that you haven't checked in with yet, to sign up. And you can get a patron code by, I guess, getting your own 8K, or winning one in an auction, or buying one, I guess, if someone is selling one. So those are your options there. If you've never done a patron event, it's super cool. So far in the past, and I want to say not necessarily history isn't necessarily an indicator of the future, but so far in the modern number of years, there's always been a very cool token that you get that's a patron exclusive token. So I assume that's happening this time, John. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much.
Cool. Is there anything you want to tell us about that, or?
Nope.
You sure?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Find out when you play.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's how do I, without giving it away? Yeah.
It's cool.
It's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll accept it. It's cool. I got it. So
I think it's cool.
Well, and that's what's important. If you think it's cool, I'll agree. If you've never done a Patreon run before, it's very, very cool. They're always a little quirky, a little fun, and it's kind of like a thank you to the patrons who are patrons of True Dungeon. It's always been really fun, and oftentimes Jeff will come in and say hello. I don't know if that's happening this time, but especially when we would do it in person, which they do sometimes, he was always there. But this is going to be, I believe, for the first time, or is this multiple times? has Pick written these before, or is this the first
Oh
one?
yeah, Pick's done several of them.
Yep.
Of the patron ones?
I think this one and then the previous two, I believe.
What?
Yeah.
My God, how did I not know that?
Isn't he going to be on your show?
Well, that's the next thing that I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
So I guess Pick's in chat. You could tell us, is this the third one that you have written? The next show features Pick. He's from the Canada, and he's coming down to this side of the fence to be the DM of this event, which is going to be amazing. So he's the DM for every one of the runs. Is that right? How's that possible?
No, we still have 5 of our VTD DMs, and he will be one of
Oh,
them.
okay. I was like thinking that's not possible. All right, so he's going to be one of 5 dungeon masters, but he wrote this module. And if anyone's ever done any of the True Grind modules, he's an incredible writer, incredible storyteller. It's going to be awesome. So the next show is 1 week after the next VTD, which is a patron only. There's nothing on Friday, nothing on Sunday. It's only Saturday. And let me just go back to this real quick. It's Saturday, April 25th. So that is the patron run. And then the show is 1 week after that. And it's going to be with Pick. We're going to talk about growing up, being so smart and cute, and then how he got into True Dungeon. We'll try to get him to spill some secrets about everybody behind the scenes. And, of course, talk about his writing True Grind and apparently the last 3 of the different patron events. So it's going to be a great show.
3. It might be more.
Okay. Well, yeah, Saturday, May 2nd at 6 p.m. That's going to be the next show. And I'm super excited to interview Pick. We're going to do like a classic interview. I want to hear everything. Brothers, sisters, everything. How'd you get into True Dungeon? Do you play D&D? Just all these questions. It's going to be awesome. Speaking of
Does
awesome,
your money really smell like maple syrup?
I think it does. Last call. Please click the link that's pinned in chat if you want to participate in this live giveaway. As soon as I let these cats go, I'm going to be tightening up those names, checking for duplicates. So please click the link if you want to enter that contest and do that liking and subscribing stuff. So speaking of last call, Caitlin/John, anything you would like to share with our group before I let you go into the wild and get back to work on our future modules?
John, after you.
Well, I promised my daughter, since she was here earlier today, that playing video games, that I would say hi to her. So hi, Sophia.
Hi,
She's gonna watch
Sophia.
She's gonna watch this on the replay. She doesn't believe Daddy's a YouTube star,
Well,
even though she helped me set up my computer and everything. Anyway, so the patron event's going to be really cool. If you have a way to be a patron, I would recommend it, because Paul did a really good job. We're in the middle of building his sets, so not the traditional hack and slash that we've done in the past. He's got some puzzles worked out and all that kind of stuff, so there will be golems. RainCon is coming to fruition, and I can't wait to see everybody there. Just a reminder, if you want to mail in your transmute and pick it up at RainCon and save yourself like shipping back and forth or whatever, feel free to do that. Just scribble on the paperwork, hey, hold this for me until RainCon. Gen Con. Oh, I don't know if anybody has anybody seen the updated page on truedungeon.com? Does everybody know that
it is updated. If you go to True Dungeon and go under upcoming events, click on Gen Con, all the Gen Con information is updated, if you didn't know that yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen any talk about our 4th module going up. So because we got enough volunteers, thank you very much, anybody that volunteered for Gen Con. We're going to do another module, so that's awesome. Yeah,
Let's see here.
thanks for letting us do this. This is awesome. It's a privilege, and hopefully we're keeping you guys happy. So
We have such a cool job. I'm just
Yeah.
grateful to have it.
Yeah. Give me a quick second. I want to share. I want to jump over to that. So yeah, if you go to the Gen Con page under upcoming events, so go to truedungeon.com, upcoming events, click on Gen Con, and you'll get to this page here, and you can see that they're doing Fang and Fury, Monster Unbound, Haunted Manor, and Castle Cravenmore. The tickets go on sale in the middle of May, and of course we'll do a show and talk about all this stuff. But yeah, this is all updated here, and it shows. Yeah, this one here. Yep. These are definitely going to be cool. And normally you don't, if I'm not mistaken, you normally don't get to see the tokens ahead of time. So this is kind of cool as well. And it explains all of that fun and joy there. All right. So Kaylin, any last thoughts to share with our group here?
Just a last story note. If you happen to miss playing Order of the Dawn, at the end of that module, Craven broke into the Order's headquarters and kidnapped Sabella.
Oh, that's right. We did want to talk about that. I didn't want to do a spoiler, but yeah, you're right. So Sabella, we've got to, I assume, maybe go save her now, or at least chase down Craven and say, "Hey, Mister, Patoot," and spit at his feet.
Order's future is in danger.
I know, she's going to be the new sword and board spear person, so we gotta get her in there. All right, so in chat, let me just do a quick little check with chat here. We got a lot of people saying thank you CPN, John and Trent. Thank you CPN and John. Thank you too for making V2 as adorable as it is. I agree. And Fedora Guy thinks that's a great idea. Mail it in and pick it up at RingCon. People are excited about Gen Con. That Fedora Guy asked, you know how people say there's no silly questions, but
This is a silly question.
that Fedora Guy says, do you still need volunteers
for Gen Con,
for Gen Con?
Throw in an application. We might have a place to put you.
So yeah, I think they can always take volunteers. Ooh, Burnt the Waffles, what up? I don't think I said hello to you. Says, excited for RingCon, been working on my costume this weekend. Very nice. Very nice. And Jason says, no one's watching the show. They're all going to the website to read the Gen Con thing. That's cool. That means the people who stay, they're going to definitely win those things. And Pick says, always need volunteers. Correct. Metaphoric Dragon says, oh, is that what happened? I thought maybe Sabella turned and attacked the others. That's not what happened. Craven is the bad guy. And Conqueror,
Sabella likes you guys.
I know. Is Conqueror, this might be for you, John. Is there a last day to mail it in for RingCon pickup?
I don't know, a week before. Mail is, as you all know, if you are receiving swag from us, USPS is kind of wonky, so I would give it like 10 days maybe. Yeah, because once we start build, once we start build, I would have to come back here and check mail and stuff like that. So yeah, 10 days before would be awesome.
Yep, that sounds good. And we got a Metaphoric Dragon question. Does that mean Transmuting at Gen Con will be available? Yeah, of course. Right?
It's not looking that way right now. So.
Oh, because that's on the. Unless I read the page wrong. I thought maybe I'm reading I read the page wrong. I thought that was on the Gen Con page. I could be wrong though.
In case that doesn't happen, we're encouraging everybody that's attending RingCon to do their stuff at RingCon. So
got it. Yeah.
If you really need something for Gen Con and you don't want to, Jeff will make a decision soon, I guess, or if he has. But it's okay. It's looking like I might be a DM. Who the hell knows?
So there might not be. Yeah, I don't want to misspeak. I thought I read that on the page, but I could also just be thinking about every other time I've read it. So it might not be there.
Agreed.
But it might not be at Gen Con. Okay, good to know.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. John says, will we need to update our apps for the patron run? I would assume so, because each room has a different monster, right?
Yes, it's not out yet, but I am positive that they'll have stuff out for you well ahead of time. They always do.
Cool. Ian says, looking forward to volunteering at Gen Con. That's awesome, Ian. And Mandor says, interesting, that will be the first Gen Con without transmutation. Yeah, that it sounds like it could be. Valerian89 says, if I could, I would totally volunteer and help make transmuting happen if I can make it work with my runs. And Valerian, another great question. I'm glad you brought that up. Patron run doesn't require treasure tokens, right? And yeah, the treasure enhancing tokens, correct. So don't take off all your treasure enhancers. Put on the good stuff, because Paul's probably trying to kill us all.
Why do you say that? Paul's such a sweetheart.
It's not true. They're trying to kill us. Chris says, can't wait to NPC at Gen Con. That's awesome. The Pick says, see, here's Pick trying to kill us. Pick says, transmuting at Gen Con only as a volunteer perk. Not really, but that's the way my evil brain works. I told you, right? All right, so that is the catch up to chat. One last reminder. Do that liking and subscribing stuff. Click that link, input your name and email, and I'm about to do the drawing. Caitlin and John, once again, thank you so much for an awesome show. I think we really got a lot of cool behind-the-scenes info this time, which I think is something that I really love, and I think other people like it too. So I will let you go. Thank you so much again for all that you guys do. It's really, really cool, and I can't wait until we see you again, which will probably be, I don't know, later this year. We'll advertise that later. So thank you again. Everybody say thank you to Caitlin and John. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all for playing.
All right, bye-bye. All right, so that was Caitlin and John. And now we will do our live giveaways. All right, so I'm going to pull this up on the screen here. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I am going to now go and check and make sure there's no duplicates. It looks like we have 54 people who have entered. So give me a second here. I will grab all of these names, make sure we don't have any duplicates here. Again, talk amongst yourselves. And now I'm just going to check for duplicates. Data cleanup. Let's see. Okay. Okay, check in here now. Okay, no duplicates. That's great. Okay, everybody. You guys are following directions very well. And now let me share my screen. And this is going to be everybody. Okay, so here is, that doesn't show the names. So let me go back to the names. Yeah, so this shows the names here. You can see all of your names. Everybody should be able to see your name there. Okay. And now we will see who wins, okay? Good luck, everyone. And again, remember, I need to hear you in chat. Say, hear you. I need to see your name in chat. Say, that's me, I'm here. All right, so Gabe says there's about a 30-second delay in the video on the computer from PS5, but the chat is synced. Oh, that's weird. But I will definitely give you guys time. All right, so here we go. This is going to be for third place, which is a 10K, I'm sorry, not 10K, a 1K gold bar and 10X chips, treasure chips. So those prizes again. Sorry, here we go. First place is a 25K bar and a single chip. Second place, 5K bar, 3X, and third place is 1K bar and 10X. So we're going to do third place now. Good luck, everybody. Here we go for third place.
Me.
My wife just walked in. She said, me. No, you don't get anything. Okay, third. Mark Christensen. Oh, Mark. I know who that is. Say hello in chat, Mark. So that's how you know if you're going to win. I need to see you in chat. Say hello in chat. Mr. Demento Mentor says, that's me. Okay. Okay, so congratulations, Mark. But I see Belinda. Belinda says, honey, Belinda says Mrs. Trent, aka Saint Jen, deserves anything she wants. Okay, so I have to give these tokens to you now, honey. All right. So Mark, congratulations. Okay, so now I'm going to remove you from the list, and now we're going to see who's going to get second place. Sean says hello. Second place is Belinda. Is it? I think my wife hacked into this. So Belinda, you won second place because of my wife. I think we should probably re-roll this. That's probably cheating. Okay, Belinda, you won second place. That's a 5K bar and a 3X treasure chip. Belinda, congratulations. Okay, so we're going to remove her. So Belinda, karma pays off. That's me. So I just wanted it to be official. You are still here. I will remove you. Here's the big one, the 25K bar. Super duper important, especially with all the different recipes and a single treasure chips. All right, single treasure chip. All right. Who's going to win the big one? Oh, almost rolled off of it. Tyler Jakes. Say hello in chat, Tyler Jakes.
Not me.
Tyler, say hello in chat. Tyler. Oh, no. Oh, that's true. Alex, it's right in between you and your wife. Ah, it sucks. Hey, Mandor says that's me. Congrats, Mandor1784, also known as Tyler Jakes. Congrats, Tyler, Belinda, and Mark Christensen. Speaking of congrats, thank you so much for your support. Congratulations to you all for your support, which this doesn't make any sense. So I appreciate you very much. Unfortunately, that algorithmic thing is kind of important. Please do that liking and subscribing. It's just the way the interwebs work. And please tell all your friends and enemies about the show to watch the show. And then the next show is going to be really great with Pick. I hope you can all join that show as well. Again, thank you very much to everyone who has subscribed so far. If you haven't yet, please do so. I really do appreciate the support. And I'll close by saying one of my favorite things, it's very difficult to frown if you're smiling, so smile.